Hello, this is Andy Bennetts with Interactive Learning. Welcome to the Marine Corps Junior ROTC CPS Database Update. The purpose of this short video is to introduce you to the new features of the MCJROTC Curriculum Update in 2014. You may notice that the folder name is no longer CPS Database. The reason for this is that we've included all of the curriculum resources within the CPS installation file. We still have our CPS images, PowerPoint files, and rather than audio and video files, we've combined those into a media files folder that has all of the audio, video, and one flash file. You'll also notice that we now have an instructor resources folder where all of the instructor guides from LE 1 through 4 and core reside, as well as a student resources folder which has all of the student guides. You may also notice a difference in the naming conventions. Whereas before, if you would download these from the portal, each of the LEs would have a different naming convention. We have standardized that across all of the curriculum, so it will sort from top to bottom just like the CPS database. One other thing worth mentioning here, we do have a couple PDFs. Those come from the student learning guides, but they are actually case studies most of the time, and we've created separate documents. So within your PowerPoint, you can click on a link and it will open the specific document that the students need at that time to answer questions to. Here is another example of a PDF that was created for new video questions that we have embedded within the curriculum. The PowerPoint folder is set up in much the same way that it was before. However, all of the PowerPoint files have been updated to PPTX, which just means that it's the newest version of the PowerPoint file. This enables the video replay to be much smoother. Instructors can now play, stop, rewind, and fast forward videos, as well as adjust the volume straight within a PowerPoint slideshow. We've taken your suggestions and cleaned up the grammatical, spelling, formatting issues within the PowerPoint lessons, as well as enhanced many lessons, specifically the land nav lessons in LE 2 and 3. You will also notice a new folder entitled CPS Resources. Within this folder, you will find the CPS training manual as well as the Mobi View training manual. In addition, all of the videos that I'm currently creating to talk about the overview and specific tasks within CPS will be saved within the CPS Resources folder. In addition to the CPS Resources living in the Curriculum Update folder, it's also embedded right within the CPS Database folder structure. At the bottom here, you see we have a CPS Support folder, including training manuals and video tutorials, as well as this welcome video that we're creating right now. The organization of the CPS database itself is not changed much from previous versions. However, we do have a lot of new content that is embedded within these folder structures. We can see here that we've got PPTX files rather than PPT. We also every once in a while will have an additional PowerPoint lesson that goes along with the concept. This one specifically is talking about video questions, which there is a PDF that you could then print off beforehand. We're taking full advantage of the database format of CPS in that we are linking many file types, not just PowerPoints and videos, but you'll also see PDFs, you'll also see Flash applications that will allow you and your cadets to use the Mobi to its fullest extent in the rank exercises. One of the chief tasks that we were working on in this update was to include higher order thinking questions or critical thinking questions. We have indicated those embedded within the lesson questions or in separate banks with a number 2 if those are higher order thinking questions, just so you can see the new questions and where they fall in the lesson. Rather than putting them all in one specific bank, which does happen occasionally, we thought it best to embed those within the lesson so you can ask those scenario questions and critical thinking questions during your instruction to garner feedback and to get the cadets thinking. Here's an example of one of the critical thinking questions. So it sets up a real situation, a real scenario, and then asks a question: what amendment to the Constitution would this violate most? Here's another example. Again, a real life scenario. Asks them the question to see what they think. and then a image identification question. You will notice as you go through the lessons that there's a variety of types of questions, everything from image identification to scenario to just critical thinking, application, and analysis questions, as well as a team-based activity that allows cadets to join up as a team and answer using the clickers collaboratively. One other feature that was not asked for specifically, but we thought, again from your feedback, was to add tests within the database. So if you remember from before, some skills and tasks would have 1 or 2 test questions within a task, which seemed a little silly since it's hard to give a 2-question test. So what we did is we compiled all of those test questions from skills into a single skill test. So rather than 2 questions here, 3 questions there, 5 questions here, we've compiled that all into one skill test at the end of the skill. And you can see from the naming convention here that we've got skill 1 task 1, skill 1 task 2, skill 1 task 3, all embedded from here. We did that from existing test questions that were already in the tasks, as well as taking lesson questions and changing answers, reordering the answer options, and just editing those a little bit. Looking here at the end, you will see a T at the end of the lesson question for those that we have edited specifically for test purposes. In addition to the skill tests, we also created a category test. So all skill tests will have 10 questions. All category tests will have 20 questions, and this goes over all of the skills within that category. These questions were taken from skill tests as well as modified lesson questions. And finally, one other test type activity that we created for you was using the team activities. Within the team activities, we have created keyword challenges related to each LE. Here we have 4 different categories: leadership, citizenship, growth and responsibility, which were 2 categories combined, and general military. So all of the keywords from leadership are contained in this challenge board, which looks somewhat like a Jeopardy board that you can then review with your cadets when you choose. We are extremely excited about releasing this update to you and look forward to your feedback. If you have any questions, comments, or would like support for the CPS database, Mobi, eInstruction products, or anything regarding the update, please reach out to me at the contact information below. Thank you so much for your support. Semper Fi.